Boom, baby. Oh, and he's smoking and cooking off. After the second one. Oh, shoot. You see that? There's two people engaging him. Oh, he fought a little short. 3 G55s. You guys see that? That's rockets. Hello everyone, today we are talking about close air support with an Armored Brigade 2. We're going to cover the old features from Armored Brigade 1 and talk about the new ones as well. So let's click on the air support tab down here in the lower left hand corner. This is going to bring up all of our air support, and as you see, some helicopters will need to be designated. So let's click on the first set of Cobras and find a position for them. So in Armored Brigade 1, this is an older feature. These helicopters would bob up and down, so they would go from behind cover and climb up, shoot a few rockets, and then go right back down. So up, down. We're going to click an entry point and a battle position for them. Here is our first battle position. So we kind of want it behind cover because they're going up and down and bobbing and weaving. And then, as you see, there's certain areas with no lines of sight. Those are the dark areas. And then there's some areas with limited line of sight, and then obviously a ton of line of sight. Let's just generally click in one position. Let's do the same thing for battle position 2. Click another area. That's our target reference point right here. And so that basically means we have identified a place for a hover aircraft. Then we have our scout aircraft as well. So these aircraft actually designate they don't designate, but they identify and relay information of targets to the command vehicles. So let's click a similar position, select our first battle point, select our same target reference area because that's where the enemies are, because that's where I put them. And then we have all of these aircraft right here that we're going to talk about as well. Close air support clusters, napalms, running fire, all types of things. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit start. And then we're going to immediately call in those Kiowas. We're going to path them. They're going to move into position. And they are slow. They are slow as molasses. And then we're going to begin moving up a few of our M1 tank platoons. We're going to move them into contact just like that. And we're going to hopefully they get there rather quickly. Because what's going to happen is they're going to crest this hill and they're going to be coming under fire. So let's move our M1s next as well. Let's advance them too. And then what we're going to do is as those units move into position, we're going to begin shaping the battlefield as well. And we're going to fire all of our smoke munitions. What's going to happen is a bunch of fun stuff. We're going to click on these self-propelled mortars here as well. And we're going to say fire like 4 or 5 rounds. All those rounds are going to go off. And then they're going to begin dropping. He was just like, I'm only shooting one, bro. I don't care what you say. Oh, nope. There goes another one. You clicked off me. So as you hear our Kiowas kind of moving in the background. Let's turn and take a look. They're right. Who knows where they are? They're slow. And there goes, oh, there they are. So as you see, they're rather slow. They're getting into position. They have no armament. And they're not really scouting anything at this moment in time. But our tanks are all moving rather quickly. And once they're in position, we are going to lay down a bunch of hate. So let's begin moving our M1s as well. We're going to advance them through the smoke. We got lots and lots of firepower. It's going to be a ton of fun once this kicks off. And Kiowa's still slowly. And so all of these are moving rather quickly is because I'm working on a mod, so I should have prefaced that. I'm currently playing on a mod. All my airstrikes are going to come in almost instantly, just like my helicopter. These could have been delayed for up to like 7, 8 minutes, but since we're on a mod, we got rid of that delay, and they're already on their way. So when you're playing the base game, you'll notice a huge time difference between what my units are doing and what your units are doing. Alright, so they're going to keep advancing. Everyone's starting to get into position. Hopefully, alright, so we made our first contacts. We have 2 contacts right here, 2 suspected contacts. We have units over here in the village, and we have units over here on our flank. So we're going to do this one by one. We're going to call in a cluster. So this is technically a running fire strike. It's not a loft bomber. So what it's going to do, it's going to come all the way across the battlefield at a relatively low altitude, and it will shoot rockets, it will shoot cluster bombs, and these are for both helicopters as well as jets. So I modded in some jets with some fun little clusters. And for some reason, that's going to take forever. Not quite sure why. I guess I didn't mod that one. So that's kind of what the time would look like right there, like 1 minute, 16 seconds. So if we come over here, we can click on the napalm and we can drop it right here as well. Let's see what that looks like. And that one doesn't have relatively any delay. So here come our napalm fighters. They're going to loft. So let's talk about loft bombing. So loft bombing, a low altitude toss bombing. These F4s are basically going to come in, break before this area. So this gives you like absolute close air support, So it's going to drop between like 4 and 8 bombs. I believe I have 8 napalms. They're going to throw those bombs onto this position while staying behind enemy lines. So if I targeted them way, way, way up here, they would actually fly over our units and possibly into the anti-aircraft zone and get shot down. So it's important that when you manage these loft bombers, that you kind of manage that distance where you want them to support the fight, but you also don't want them to fly over the battlefield and into the enemy aircraft fire. So let's watch that go off. So as you see, they're flying up, and then they're going to dive down and throw the munitions, right? And they should already be banking. Incoming aircraft right there. They should have already thrown it because this is a relatively small battlefield, and we're going to wait for those. And you can't view the bombs on the screen, which is a bit of a bummer, but we can watch them explode. So here they come. We're just going to stare at this empty field right there. And just like that, we just dropped a bunch of napalm on a designated target. So that's different. That's one of the new features with the Armored Brigade is the loft bombing. Same with the running fire, which is slowly taking its time in 16 seconds. We're going to let that play out, and then we're going to keep advancing our tanks. And hopefully that fire maybe destroyed a few of these tanks or laid some kind of hate. All right, we're beginning to crest the hill, which means we should come into contact here in a moment. And then we'll start. Oh my God, why does it do that? I swear, like that's like my biggest pet peeve. All right, here comes the running fire. There it goes. Nope. Like the most frustrating thing in the world sometimes. All right, our M1s are moving into position, kind of driving through the smoke. Lots of fire out there in the background. Let's see if we can see our loft bombers. Oh, there they are. Let's pause it real quick. These are not our loft bombers. These are actually our running fire. So running fire is a bit different. It functions similar to CAS. They're going to traverse the entire battlefield. However, they're going to kind of go to a pre-designated location. And they're going to lay hate, drop clusters. Why does he have napalm? Oh my God. And then they're going to fly across the entire battlefield. Those jet trails are a new addition as well. All right. This guy's in contact. Let's watch him go. So let's pause it again. That was pretty cool. I thought those had clusters, but for some reason he was like, "Bro, I got napalm." No, he has napalm rockets. He has incendiary rockets. As you see, these Kiowas are relatively useless. I'm going to show you how to path them to their next battle position regardless, though. Click on the Kiowa scouts and then click on their next battle position, and then they're going to go over there. We're going to path our Cobras into position so we can see some old bobbing and weaving. And then we're going to talk about one of the older features, which is close air support. So, close air support, this is different from loft bombing. This is different from running fire. Here comes our close air support. These guys are basically going to traverse the whole battlefield similar to the running fire, but they will attack anything within that zone. So let's pause real quick and take a look at it. So let's zoom out way, way, way out. You have two different zones here. As you see CAS and you see SEED down there in the lower. Close air support is the small circle and suppression of enemy air defense is the big circle. So if they're running like a SEED mission, they can kind of shoot down any sort of, they can destroy any radars like surface-to-air missiles, things like that. And then the close air support mission is going to be anything within that big circle, so that they can attack anything. It's not like Loft. Loft will generally go right where you designate it, whereas close air support is going to go anywhere within that big circle, and it will be delayed just like it was before. Oh, there's our Cobras. They're slow. I just want to follow these guys. Alright, let's hit K. So let's watch these guys work. So as you see, we designated something over here on the left, but they've seen something over here on the right, and they're going to move to engage that target on the right. There we go, there's some rockets. And they both dropped some clusters as well. And then they're going to exit the battlefield. Just like that. That's how close air support works. I hope all of that kind of makes sense. So let's keep advancing our units that we weren't doing and get some combat going and maybe get some action. Alright, so this guy over here is under fire. He's having a relatively bad time. Let's have him pop off some smoke. Kind of advance through it and see what he sees. Look at all that. Look at all that hate down there. All right, and so we have a whole bunch of units identified in that middle area right there in that town. So I think a good little napalm strike will do wonders for them. And I think actually a cluster strike would do wonders for this area. And then a close air support strike as well. We hate them all. We want them all to be blown up. All right, so now we have each type of aircraft moving into position. We're going to keep advancing through this area. I think there's infantry in that forest right there. Oh my god, let's switch positions into wedge. This guy's still... Oh, he's under fire. Oh, we're moving to engage. Let's see some action. Baby! There he goes. Oh, look in the distance. Look right there. Come on, engage that T-55. Boom, baby! Oh, and he's smoking and cooking off. After the second one. Oh shoot, you see that? There's two people engaging him. Oh, he fought a little short. 3 T-55s. You guys see that? That's rockets. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. We have lots of aircraft on. Where are they at? Where are my explosions? Dude, look at the fire over there, boy. There you go. I guess we all opted not to drop any bombs. There we go. Napalm and clusters all in that one position. The aircraft banking in the distance. Look at that. More clusters. Oh, we lost 1 M1. They're moving into position. Let's just see what they see. Oh, they're under fire too. Let's follow these guys in. Small, looks like tons of small arms fire. Alright, let's zoom out. That's a lot of fire. We don't want our units going through that though. Oh, look. Oh shoot, let's pause it right there. You think this missile's gonna hit him? So right now he's suppressed, as you see from that orange box. There's also a missile coming right at him. You think popping smoke would obstruct it? So smoke's up. Let's see what happens. Okay. Nope, that missile hit. Did he survive? He survived. He's just suppressed. He's having a bad time, that's for sure. So what we need to do is we got to get rid of this unit in this position. There's our Kiowas almost in position. Look at all this hate right here. We gotta get this infantry going. Like, not this infantry, but these Bradleys into position. And then we're going to get this HQ unit up as well. We could actually drop a lot more. We have a ton of artillery if you really wanted to focus on that. And then these guys, I don't even think these guys are really in position yet, but we do have lots of air support. We have more CAS. We have another cluster and another napalm. Let's kind of set that back. And let's see if this actually running fire does anything. Gonna watch this from afar. Look, there's infantry right there, as well as... I don't even know if these guys are in position yet. Let's see what they're doing. So these guys can't really see anything either. That's for sure. Lots of combat out there in the distance, though. And lots of... Alright, so they got that guy. They're all just kind of coming under attack. Alright, so there was that Loft bomber right there. Let's see what happens with this Loft. All those tanks are kind of sitting up there on the hillside. Those bombs take... Oh! Those bombs take a good moment to land. There they are. Kind of torching that village in the background. I think there's some infantry in this wooded area. I don't think I have... All I have is like general close air support, so this may engage them, it may not. But I think that's everyone on the battlefield. We're just moving into position slowly. We're going to redesignate these guys into their second battle position. So those Cobras are going to move a bit forward and maybe suppress something right there. And these M1s are just going to keep laying all kinds of hate. So here come another... So here come... We're going to watch these guys come in. Alright, so these guys are coming in for a close air support run. They're just shooting general high explosive rockets. Ooh, look at that. Lots of firepower right there. All kinds of rockets, no real bombs were dropped. Well, that's pretty cool, guys. Alright. We're just going to move to secure the airfield, but that's the end of the air support tutorial. I hope it makes sense a little bit. If not, please let me know in the comments.